So in this video, we'll be talking about Taurus moon in the 12th house natally and what this placement means. So if you have this placement, you're in the right place. And basically, how I can sum up this placement in one sentence is it indicates somebody that uses their imagination as a resource throughout life to accomplish things or to solve problems. What the moon shows us in astrology in a general sense is it shows us the resource that we depend on to sustain ourselves. And that resource can be physical or it can be non-physical. Sometimes a resource can be intelligence, or a resource can be solitude, being able to be alone. So depending on where your moon is, it will show a different resource that you tend to use in order to secure yourself in life, because the moon rules security, it rules emotional stability, emotional fulfillment, and comfort. So in general, with the moon being in the 12th house, which is the house of isolation and solitude, part of what gives you guys emotional stability is time alone in order to recharge and in order to think clearly. And so that is one aspect of this placement. But with the moon in Taurus, which is the sign of resources, means is it shows somebody that has a very practical approach to life and that likes to use objective measures to accomplish goals. In this case, when it's in the 12th house of isolation, subjective perception, imagination, vision, just everything that's purely subjective and that can only be experienced within oneself. That's why it's the house of spirituality as well. It's all the stuff that's non-tangible, because all of those things are also the things that isolate us because they are not immediately relatable to others. So the 12th house is everything that cannot be shown to others immediately. So that's why it's about imagination. It's about our inner journey, our inner spirituality. It's also the house of chaos and disorder, because the 12th house is something that other people don't necessarily have the same perception of. And so everybody's 12th house kind of puts them in a different reality. Like everybody perceives things differently within, and so this is why it rules chaos, because ultimately we live in a chaotic world. We live in a chaotic perception of things. All of our perceptions are different. So anyways, with the moon in the 12th house in Taurus, in a general sense, this shows somebody that is practical and uses their imagination as a resource in order to create opportunities for themselves. The natural sign that has the 12th house in Taurus is Gemini. Gemini is the sign of thinking, ideas, opportunities, intelligence. Now, in a general sense, with the 12th house in Taurus, or the sign of Taurus being somewhere in your 12th house, especially though if you have the 12th house cusp in Taurus, it indicates that as a Gemini, or maybe even as a Taurus, whatever sign that you are, most of you guys will be Geminis though, but whatever sign, you guys tend to have a more blurry objective, or like you guys have a very vague general objective when it comes to doing things. And you guys like to use your imagination in order to accomplish those things, because the 12th house is about vagueness, and it's about constant change and constant new creative ideas. So whereas your imagination tends to always be focused on a specific objective, as indicated by the sign of Taurus, which is a fixed earth sign. Also, though, your approach to accomplishing that objective is very mutable, which means it's like changing, because the 12th house is a mutable water house. So let me give you an example. So Taurus is about objectives, but it's also about wealth and resources. So a very common way to explain this is, maybe you guys just have the goal of making money, for example. And how you guys accomplish it is you guys start to use your imagination to create opportunities, and to try to think of how you can achieve that objective. But you guys don't have such a fixed way that you guys do things in terms of accomplishing that goal. So like all you guys know is like the general vague idea of what your goal is in life, and you guys use whatever opportunities present themselves, and whatever creative opportunities you guys can create to accomplish it. And so you guys can be dabblers into many different ideas, many different things, many different ways of doing things, but all of it is to get to like the same general objective. But anyways, I hope that makes sense of how this placement indicates somebody that has like a vague general objective, which is indicated by Taurus and the 12th house. And they just use their imagination to come up with any and every way that they can accomplish it. So that basically sums up this placement in a general sense, and what I wanted to cover for this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you did, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this channel for more content. And other than that, I appreciate you guys watching and supporting in any way that you do, and I'll see you guys sometime soon in another video. Peace. So another trait of this placement is these individuals will tend to have an affinity for knowledge, and they love learning about value. They like learning about wealth, because Taurus is the sign of wealth, and when the moon is in the 12th house, it's in the 9th house from the 4th house, and the moon rules the 4th house. So when it's in the 12th house, it's in the 9th from its own house, and the 9th house is about knowledge, expansion, and learning new things, but also exploring new opportunities and taking risks. So with the moon here, there is a chance that a lot of you guys have the capacity to make a lot of wealth, because you guys have faith in your imagination, and you guys have faith in your objectives. The 9th house is about faith as well, and being able to take risks or gambles. And you guys naturally try to manifest things into your reality, because that's what the 12th house is about as well. And that's what visualizing is. And in general, your guys' imagination tends to revolve around certain variables. Like, because the sign of Taurus is about variables and things that matter. So with the 12th house here, as opposed to having a very scattered imagination, your imagination tends to revolve around like one thing. So like maybe it's money, or maybe it's a favorite thing that you like doing, but it's some value that you have, because Taurus is about values. So one of your values, or it could be money, but your imagination just constantly revolves around that. And you guys have the moon here giving you faith in your imagination, and also this desire to learn. And you guys have like this capacity to make connections between opportunities and information, because the 12th house is about connections. So you guys are always getting downloads or epiphanies, or spiritual messages. Maybe you guys see angel numbers, or just in general, you guys are able to connect events, information, knowledge in your head, and you're able to see when there's a new opportunity. So maybe you'll read something out of a book, and it will remind you of something that you heard from somebody else, or it will remind you of a newspaper article. And so you guys have that creative mind that not all people have, and it's a rare trait. And the moon is well in Pisces, in the 12th house, which is associated with Pisces. So yeah, and it could indicate also large amounts of wealth, like I was saying, because the moon is resources, and when it's in Taurus, this is about financial resources. And in the 9th from its own house, this is about excess or expansion or unlimited horizons. So definitely use your ability to imagine things, to manifest, and to create opportunities, because that is your strength when you have this placement. In addition, you guys always have faith that you will have enough. Because when the moon is in Taurus, the security comes from resources. But when it's in the 12th house, there's an element of faith that you guys have in your financial situations. And you guys are risk takers on opportunities. And you guys take gambles, but like calculated gambles. It's more so gambles on yourself, like dreams, visions, and whatnot. So, anyways, what else was I gonna say about this placement? Um, it's very interesting, but I was saying, um, you guys have faith in your financial situation and that you will always have enough, because in when the moon is in Taurus, this shows somebody that's highly resourceful. So whatever that they have around them, they like to build with that, and they like to use that in order to reach the next level. And they're always tend to be content with what they have, and they use what's realistically available in order to achieve their goals, or they make plans. They create a plan and of how to level up and get to the objective that they want. So the moon is exalted in that way when it's in Taurus, and when it's in the ninth from its own sign. This is a benefic, sorry, not the ninth from its own sign, the ninth from its own house. This is a benefic placement, because the ninth house is the house of Jupiter. So this is a fantastic placement. Definitely master manifestors. Definitely creative individuals. But like, you guys are creative on another level than normal. Like, you guys literally create opportunities from the air. Whereas somebody else with the moon somewhere else may use opportunities that they encounter, or they may think and use intelligence in order to capitalize off of opportunities. But you guys literally just generate opportunities out of your imagination. So beautiful placement. I like this a lot. You know, exalted moon, and it's in the 12th house. Nice. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys sometime soon in another video.